There's a boring coloring book floating around on Amazon and it sells 3,780 copies a month. And in money terms, that's over $10,000 in net sales. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what makes this niche so weirdly profitable, explain to you why you want to get in on the action now, and show you how you can start creating your own boring coloring book just like this one that you can sell online in just a few hours, all without needing any special skills other than just watching this video. Now, if this is your first time here, my name is Jeff, and this channel is all about becoming self-sufficient when it comes to making money online. So if this sounds like you, feel free to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I release a new video. With that being said, let's get right to it. Now, the niche that we're talking about today, I've covered in the past, but I want to go into a sub-niche within the color by number book category. Now, when you're doing a generic search for this general term, you're going to run into over 20,000 results, actually 23,800. And at first glance, it's going to seem very, very competitive. But as we see with Titan's Quick View, the demand is a 6, this is out of 9, and the opportunity, even though this is over 20,000 results, is still a 5. And if we go ahead and click on the niche score, we can still see it's a decent 54. And obviously, if we look through some of these books, we're going to see, for example, this one right here, that's a #1 bestseller, ranked at 633. So this is a top 1,000 book. Here's another one that's ranked at 1,573. And just a lot of examples of books here selling extremely, extremely well. For example, look at this one, 50 color by numbers, 11,199. So there's a lot of potential here for success. And this is kind of the new niche in town that you really want to get into so you can take advantage of this niche and have a book here that's going to sell well for years down the road. Now, speaking of sub niches, this is the one that I found called Pixel Art Color by Number Book. This one's going to have a lot lower results. This one's going to be in the 2,000 range. Now, it's still a little bit competitive, but this is where you can run Amazon KDP ads to really help your book get boosted within the search rankings on Amazon to hopefully get it landed on the first couple pages here. Now, if you don't know how to run KDP ads, it's actually pretty simple, but go ahead and watch my video that I made on KDP ads. I'll leave a marker up top right now. It's just going to help you get started running these ads on these books. It's not going to be anything too advanced. It's just going to be a great way for beginners to get some traction on their books if they want to run some very, very cheap ads. Now, when we look at the bestseller rank on average on the first page, we see 345,000. And so that's actually pretty decent because it means that these books are selling consistently at about 1 sale per day, which means that there is demand here. And we can see with the niche score, Titan's Quick View gives it a 73, which is actually pretty high. And when we click on the Titans Pro analysis, we can see the demand is at a subpar 4. However, the opportunity score is almost maxed out at 8. Now, going through the first page, what I like to look for are 3 KDP books that are ranking at 300,000 or below. And just looking at this one, it is not a KDP book. We're looking for independently published right here. This one right here, same deal. This one independently published with a bestsellers rank of 63,000. So this is one book selling very well. This one right here, independently published with a bestsellers rank 56,000. So this one is also selling very well. And then this one right here, 28,000. So that's 3 books. So I know that there's demand here, but I like to look through the first page all the way to the bottom, 64,000. 29,000. This one's at 2 million, 387,000. And let's just go to the bottom here, 584,000, 95,000. So that one's good. This one is 347,000 and this one 117,000. So we see that there's some good depth here for this niche, meaning you can get ranked pretty much anywhere on the first page of Amazon for this niche and sell very, very well. So if we take a look at this book, this is called The 100 Quest Color by Number, squares, triangles, hexagons, circles with black backgrounds. We can see with Titan's Quick View, the bestsellers rank 1,573. So close to that top 1,000 on Amazon. When we look at the 30-day sales, we can see 2,520 up to 3,080 book sales every 30 days. Now let's scroll down here. The price for this book, $11.99. And the total print length is 204 pages. Now, looking at the sample, this is basically what this type of book is. You have a grid with numbers or letters inside these boxes or shapes. And up here, you have your palette or your key. So you basically just follow it. So any number ones, you color black, etc., etc. And then eventually will turn out into a full image, which is going to look like this. So these are examples in the A+ content of the finished product on the right side, and then what the customer will get on the left side. Now, this is actually very, very hard to create if you're going to want to create this by scratch or manually. But obviously, there are ways that we can create this without all the headache. So I'm going to show you that. But before that, let's go ahead and grab the 30-day sales, the 3,780, and then put it in the calculator like this. We're going to multiply that by the number we get here on KDP's royalty calculator website, which if you put all of the details of the book, 8.5 by 11 inches, 204 page count, $11.99 price point, submit that, we're going to get on the Amazon.com marketplace an estimated royalty of $2.73. So let's go ahead and plug that into here, $2.73. So that equals over $10,000 per month in estimated royalties. Now that we've got that niche sorted out and we know how lucrative selling a book in this category can be, this is where it starts to get fun. We're about to jump into a tool that can take all of this and in just a couple of clicks, turn it into a complete color by number coloring book. Once you see it in action, you're going to realize how quick and doable this all really is. So let's go ahead, load this up so you can see what I'm talking about. Now, here's an easy tool that you could use to create these coloring pages. As you can see, I've already started creating one. So if I click here, this is the original image right here. This is of a Halloween candy corn. And as you can see, the final product actually looks pretty good. Now, there's a couple ways to do this. You can change the book size here to 8.5 by 11, which in this case, that's the size of the book. And then you can choose a grid size. So you can do detailed, you can do medium, you could do simple. It really depends on the type of book that you're creating and if it's for kids or if it's for adults. Now, the next thing is just choose your image. You can choose one or you can select multiple images. After that, you can choose the shape of the grid, which you can choose a square like this one right here. If we do circle, that's what it looks like. Let's go to medium so you can see. If we do triangle, that's what that looks like. This is what hexagon looks like. And then finally, diamond. So going back to square, the next part, number of colors. Now you can do as little as 12 colors, 24, 36, or 48, depending on the difficulty of your coloring book. But I kind of like anywhere between 12 and 24. And then with this stroke width, this is just has to do with how thick the line is you want right here. You can make it 0.1 and make it thinner, or keep it at 0.3. And then you can change the color. So if you want to white it out, you can do that. If you want to completely black it out, you can do something like that, which also looks pretty good. But for this tutorial, I'm going to just leave it at a gray so you can see the grid. And that's really all there is to it. As you can see some examples that I've done, here's the pumpkin. That's what it came out as. And then if we go down here, here's a bone, and then here's a ghost, a pumpkin, and this one right here is a mushroom. So as you can see, it did pretty well with these images. It really likes simple types of images, not anything too complicated. You can also see that it does pretty well with the butterflies. So there you go. Here are some examples. That's the actual image that I uploaded and it turned it into that. And you can once again change the shape. You can do hexagon, diamond, which looks pretty cool. You could do circles. You could do triangles, which looks pretty cool as well. And then here you can see the actual page that you're going to include in your book. And then here is the palette that you can also include in your book. All you have to do is download it right here, save it, and it's going to come out in a folder just like this, where you have everything here that you need, the palette, the actual coloring page, and the final image here if you wanted to do something with this, like include it in the A+ content. Now, if you're interested in creating this book and you want to check out this tool, I'll leave a link to it down in the description below. Now, all you would need to do is to use a program like Canva to put all of these pages together. So here I have 8.5 by 8.5 inches, create that new design. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the number and the palette, the PNG files, drag it onto Canva, click on the image right here. And essentially, this is all you really have to do. Just drag it like that. And this is what it should look like. Now you can add your palette right here and just do the same thing. You can go ahead and extend it like that, or you can go ahead and kind of center it more and then add another page and then your next coloring page, which is this one, and just do the same thing. Add another page, put your palette, or you could vice versa it. You could put the palette first and then the actual coloring page second. So let's go ahead and do that. And just do that with all of the images that you have. And then pretty soon you're gonna have a complete color by number book. So there you have it, one of the most unassuming coloring books on Amazon, quietly pulling in over $10,000 a month. And there are dozens of untapped niches, just like this one, waiting for someone like you to step in. If you're ready to start creating books like this yourself, I've linked a free starter guide below. It's the exact blueprint I wish I had when I first started. If this video helped you see what's possible, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss my next video. With that being said, thanks for watching. Bye for now.